To some other stories now, the Council of State has advised Parliament to stop the consideration and passage of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana Amendment Bill, raising constitutional questions about the proposed changes in the legislation. The law is seeking to remove the current constitutional restrictions imposed on dual citizens, which prevents them from holding public office or public positions in the country.
All right, additional there will be a sincere city unity. Make sure say over like it, over comment it. Now I share my videos a day among. I want to somebody share very good and a matter of register. And some area quarterly or my Ghana any year fanana and Mako boy piano amigo jina at your phone so a chair mu ade. Na a year parliament at the assembly of a tuga. If a year reversal of a year and maybe na Emma amanfo bi enkodi public position. We see a man somewhere be e be kwa kwatie before say e be call na me recommend a very good importation e the amount e ban entirely e ban weights e ban mpaboa chese e ban kitchen appliances they are contact very good e was 0595619267 now one in twetwe nkomo na order nyoma na bi informal essence and nyoma so yeah quality and affordable. I would say more now go to in some number.
We shift our attention to some other stories now. The Council of State has advised Parliament to stop the consideration and passage of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana Amendment Bill, raising constitutional questions about the proposed changes in the legislation. The law is seeking to remove the current constitutional restrictions imposed on dual citizens, which prevents them from holding public office or public positions in the country.
I received the advisory opinion of the Council of State on the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana Amendment Bill 2025. The bill seeks to amend provisions of the Constitution relating to citizenship-based qualifications from public office. The bill was referred to the Council of State on 30th March 2026 in accordance with Article 291, Clause 2 of the Constitution for consideration and advice. The Council has duly rendered its advice and in doing so has advised against the passage of the bill by Parliament. After the first reading of the bill, in compliance with the Constitution, I referred it to the Council of State for consideration and advice. Honorable members, as earlier stated, I have received the advisory opinion on the bill from the Council of State. And I told you, this Council advised against the passage of the bill, which meant that they differed from the earlier advice of the Council of State of the 8th Parliament, which had given Parliament the go-ahead to process and pass the bill. Honorable members, while the advice of the Council of State does not determine the legislative judgment of Parliament, it constitutes an important constitutional contribution to the deliberative process contemplated by the framers of the Constitution.
In more news this evening, Cabinet is scheduled to meet on Friday to finalize the government's position paper on the constitutional review. President Mahama has announced that once Cabinet concludes its work, the Legal Counsel and the Attorney General will take approximately 1 to 2 weeks to consolidate the document. The President made the remarks at the send-off for 3 foreign envoys at the Jubilee House.
We've gone quite far. Cabinet is meeting on Friday to complete the government position paper. After that, I think the legal counsel and the attorney general will take about a week or two to put it all together. And after that is done, we'll, together with the Constitutional Review Committee report and the government position paper, we'll hand it over to the Constitutional Review Implementation Committee to kickstart the process of the Constitutional Review. The 1992 Constitution has served us very well. It's been one of our best constitutions. And that is what has, been the underpinnings of the Fourth Republic. And the Fourth Republic has lasted longer than any other republic in our history. And so we believe that any tweaking of the Constitution will only go to strengthen it even more and make it a living document to take us for the next 30 years. And so we appreciate the support that you have given.
In more news tonight, Ghana's reported decision to decline a planned state visit by South African President Cyril Ramaphosa is drawing mixed reactions from international relations experts. While some say the move sends a strong message over the safety of Ghanaians in South Africa, others warn that it could carry diplomatic and investment consequences if not managed carefully. Noble Crosby-Annan has more.
Ghana has reportedly declined a planned state visit by South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, citing growing concerns over xenophobic attacks in South Africa and the safety of Ghanaian nationals. President Ramaphosa was expected to visit Ghana in the first week of August in a trip aimed at strengthening bilateral relations between Accra and Pretoria. But government sources say the current security climate makes such a high-level engagement premature, especially as Ghana continues to raise concerns about the treatment of its citizens in South Africa. The decision follows the death of 40-year-old Bashiru Isaac, a Ghanaian national. Ghanaian authorities say he was killed on June 30 during demonstrations linked to renewed anti-foreigner violence in South Africa. The development has deepened concerns among Ghanaians living in South Africa. Already, close to 1,000 Ghanaians have been evacuated back to Ghana, while about 900 more have reportedly registered to return home as fears of xenophobic attacks grow. South African authorities have, however, pushed back against Ghana's account of events. They say no deaths were recorded during the June 30 demonstrations and have described Ghana's claim as factually incorrect. South African officials are also accusing Kenyan authorities of spreading false information that unfairly presents South Africa as xenophobic. The development has opened a new debate over whether Ghana's action is a strong diplomatic signal or a move that could strain relations between the two countries. International relations analyst Dr. Elvis Botta says Ghana's position may not be diplomatically wrong.
It is not diplomatically wrong. In fact, it is one of the most persuasive diplomatic positions Ghana can take without necessarily creating tensions in its diplomatic or foreign relations with South Africa. The implications are that there is a very strong economic relations between Ghana and South Africa, ranging from bilateral, international treaties or bilateral investment treaties, etc. Now, this is where we have to be very careful.
For international relations expert Dr. Yao Gebe, Ghana's response is appropriate under the current circumstances.
The government of Ghana has reacted positively to this particular development. In the middle of all that is happening, the killing of Ghanaians, all the attacks, for the president of South Africa to decide that he paid a state visit to Ghana, I find it rather unfortunate, meaning that they are not taking the issue seriously.
Dr. Botta adds, Ghana must now demand more from the South African authorities.
1. Credible assurances to the Ghanaian government. Number 2, investigate a killing. Assurances in respect of protection of Ghanaian businesses and Ghanaian personnel who are still in South Africa. And of course, that will also offer remedies where state failure has been established.